I'm going to talk about my life story. My story in the beginning, it may sound like a great determination and courage to achieve my dreams, but please bear with me because there's a twist in the end. I was born in Istanbul into a humble family background. My family are from east of Turkey. They are not highly educated people, they are traditional people with good heart. They are from Elazığ, and being the first child, they were hoping that they would have a strong and healthy boy. And even though they were not overjoyed with my arrival, they loved me and accepted me unconditionally. However, in their mind, I was a girl, and they were hoping that after I graduate from high school, I would find a nice husband, I would get married, settle down, and have kids. However, to my parents' surprise, I passed the university exam, and I started studying chemical engineering in Yıldız Technical University. My family had limited funds to support me, so I had to do part-time jobs to support my studies. And it was amazing times for me, my university years, because I was standing on my own feet first time, I was feeling financial independence, I was exploring the world. So it was great days. After I graduated from university, I decided to go to England to learn English. The idea came more from my heart rather than my mind. Yes, I mean, logically, if I go to England, if I learn English, my future prospects would increase. But it was more than that. It was something was pulling me there. Something from my heart was pulling me to England. I didn't know what was expecting, what was waiting for me there, but I had to go there. Anyway, when I mentioned this idea to my family, naturally they were strongly opposed to the idea. How can a single girl go abroad? She will be corrupted, she'll lose her values. And that was the first time I stand up against my parents. And I made it clear that I am an adult, I can make my own decisions now. So again, they didn't have financial means to send me to England, so I had to work part-time to support myself, so I went to England. The year was 1989. And the first couple of years in England, it's been hard work for me. I was learning English. Same time I was doing part-time jobs. I did babysitting, dog walking, working in the restaurants to support myself. And for 2 years, I saved money. And after 2 years, I did my further studies in chemical engineering in South Bank University in London. After I have graduated, I found my first proper employment in a Turkish company in London. It was an import-export company. And I started working there as an administrator. It was very exciting because it was my first ever proper job. So when I started working there, I realized that company had a very strange attitude, principle. They were saying that you are foreigners in this country, you can't find job elsewhere. So try to, don't expect anything more than basic conditions. Anyway, I worked there. For 1 year, we worked hard, long hours, we got paid minimum wages, minimum holiday allowance. And after 1 year, I thought, now I've got enough experience, now I can look for a job elsewhere. When I mentioned that to one of my colleagues, she told me that, Nilgün, look, we are foreigners in this country. Why should they employ us while the British people are unemployed? We should know our place in this country, and we mustn't have any unreasonable dreams like this. And I realized that that was the mentality of the whole employees. And I thought that was strange. Anyway, I continued my job search, and I found my second job in Mitsubishi Corporation. It was a trading house in the city of London, and I started working there as an administrator. And during my 10 years of employment in Mitsubishi, I started as an administrator, and I worked my way up very quickly to trading and the management role, which was a big achievement in those days in a Japanese company, because most of those positions were held by either Japanese or male colleagues. Well, anyway, up to this point, what I have learned from life was that if you believe in something, you have to pursue it. Even if the whole world is against you, you have to do it. If your heart is pulling you towards a certain direction, follow it. There is something waiting for you there. It will take you to the right place. I am also grateful that I was born into such an underprivileged family, because the challenges presented to me by my family's belief system and the financial difficulties made me stronger. It helped me find my inner power. I was quite introverted and sensitive child. If life was easy, I wouldn't have found my inner power. I managed to find that inner power and confidence by facing these challenges. Anyway, going back to my story, actually the real life-changing, life-turning point happened towards the end of my employment in Mitsubishi. I achieved success, career-wise, socially, personally. I had everything I wanted. But somehow, I wasn't happy. Even though I had everything, I achieved everything, I wasn't happy. And after a while, I started to become ill. I was so ill, I couldn't even get out of the bed. I had no energy whatsoever. So I started going to doctors. They did all the examinations and the tests, and they found nothing. They said, there's nothing wrong with you. So since I could not find any solution from conventional medicine, I decided to look for alternatives. That is when I met this great Zen master from South Korea in London. Through the Zen and energy practices I have learned from him, my physical condition started to improve very quickly. And after that, I realized that even though I have everything, I don't have inner happiness. As I was getting closer to success, I was becoming more and more mind-focused. I switched off or minimized my emotional activities, and I was purely relying on my mind. Through the Zen practices, first I started to learn how to control my mind, because my mind was so active, it took over me. I couldn't relax, I couldn't enjoy the moment, it was constantly buzzing. Even though I had everything, I couldn't stay in the moment and enjoy it, because it was always few steps ahead. So through the Zen practices, I learned to control my mind instead of it is controlling me. And after that, I started to reconnect to my heart and started to open my heart again. And I started to enjoy healthy emotional activities as well. And gradually, my life has started to become more stable. I started to feel physically stronger. Emotionally, I started to feel richer. And mentally, I started to feel my mind was calmer and clearer. I find that even though we have success, we don't have to close our hearts. We can still get our mind supported with our heart. And after that, I started to experience that inner happiness and peace. And all the great masters were talking about the happiness and the self-development books as well. Happiness is within you. It's not out there. Happiness is inside you. Find it. But how do I do it? How do I find it? Where is it inside me? Well, they never tell you how to find it. So Now that I found it, I had this burning desire to help people, to share this inner peace with people, and to help them also find their inner happiness. So for this purpose, to everyone's amazement, I left my successful career at Mitsubishi, and I started helping people, guiding people to find their inner potential and to balance themselves. And for this purpose, I set up Absolute Zen in London, together with the help of this Zen master, and we both dedicated ourselves to help people. And after a couple of years, we have been invited to Turkey to give seminars and workshops. And we didn't know what was waiting for us, but when we came to Turkey, we were very surprised. People were so ready and so open to change themselves. They were thirsty for the truth and the real happiness. And they were responding to our teachings ever so well, and they were changing, their lives were changing ever so quickly. And it made our hearts so happy, so that we decided, if we move Absolute Zen to Turkey, we can help more people. So we moved Absolute Zen to Turkey since 2008. We have been living in Istanbul and trying to help people in Turkey. Now I'm helping people from all walks of life, including businessmen and businesswomen. And I find that, especially with the professionals, they are becoming more and more mind-focused. Just like how I used to be, they cannot relax and they cannot enjoy what they have got. Particularly with the ladies, after they enter their career life, they become more and more mind-focused and they minimize their emotional activities, just like I used to be. Woman's greatest treasure is her heart. It's in our nature. We love emotional communication. We love pouring our heart to our friends, and it gives us deep satisfaction. If you minimize that or if you cut that, it's like cutting a lifeline. You become very dry and unhappy after a while. So as we become successful, we don't have to switch off our emotions. That's one other thing I have learned. The gentlemen, on the other hand, they have been traditionally power-driven species. However, in the emotional evolution of the man species, they are becoming more in touch with their emotions and instincts, which is great. I find that while ladies are getting more powerful, and gentlemen are getting in touch with they are developing their emotional aspect, I come across couples who do not know how to balance the power issue in their relationship. I receive ladies complaining about carrying all the responsibilities of the relationship, of the family. They feel pressed under the responsibilities. And I receive gentlemen complaining about feeling weak, powerless, manipulated and controlled by their wives, so they feel unhappy as a result. Power can be a tricky issue. If you do not balance your power with your rich emotions, it can come across as a force rather than power, and it can be offensive in the relationship. You are all powerful, but don't forget to also open your heart to your partners and have healthy and rich emotional communication with them. Also, instead of controlling, try motivating. It works wonders. Believe me, it works wonders. So before I finish my speech, I would like to emphasize how important it is to become a balanced person. We have our mind, we have our emotions, and we have our physical body. So we have to, if you become any of these aspects, there is an imbalance occur. Then you become unhappy, unhealthy. So we have to be physically strong and healthy and comfortable, relaxed. we should have rich emotions, and we should be able to control our mind and have a clear mind. If you balance power and rich emotions and the clear mind, you become neither man nor woman. You become a wise being. You become a universal being. We are all great people. We deserve happiness. We don't have to leave our circumstances, our job, our relationship to become happy. All we have to do is balance our activities and turn our attention from outwards to inwards. Believe me, there is a great happiness waiting for you there, and you all deserve it. Thank you.